What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be doing another French drain and downspout extensions on LBI. As you can see, we've already had it marked out. We're going to be running this back downspout around the fence down the side. We're going to be tying this downspout into it, coming all the way out to a pop-up right here at the street. On the other side, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be running the downspout from the back left past the fence all the way down. Have a pop-up emitter over here on the side as well. Plus, in the back, we're going to be doing a French drain to a mini dry well. We're going to have a French drain starting right next to his shed over here, going all the way down to about here. Mini dry well is going to go all up in this area, and our French drain about from to the left of his crawl space door going down all the way to meet into it as well. Because when it rains, all this builds up with water, and somehow when it does build up a lot, it will overflow and flow down the neighbor's yard. So now we're trying to divert all that and have everything go into our little mini dry well, and we're going to berm up around down the side of his fence because his neighbor doesn't have any gutters, so everything that comes off of his shed and everything floods his yard. First things we're doing is running the downspouts out. As you can see, we rake all the rock back, so that way after we backfill everything over our pipe, we can put the rock back and make it look like we were never here. Now I have the left side dug out, and I started putting some pipe in. Just start getting a grade. Make sure my grade is correct. We have it going all the way down the left side of the house next to the fence. Over here, I have the leveling. All I gotta do is hook up the actual downspout part. But as you can see from right here on my level, I have everything going downhill from the house, downhill to here. And then when it comes around the fence to start going down, I'm also downhill to level. And then as you go down the line a little bit more, downhill to level as well. And then towards the very end where we have it go a little bit sharper, so that way the water evacuates even faster. All the way downhill to level. Now I just gotta put it all together and then backfill. And here's the left side completely piped up. As you can see, everything's gonna come out to this pop-up emitter. You see by the level here, we have everything completely downhill. So as it goes downhill to level, as it gets closer and closer to the street, we have it going completely downhill to make sure all the water rushes out to here. And as you can see, we put rock under here as well, so that way the little hole that's in the bottom of the 90, when the water's done going up from gravity and it stops raining, it can still slowly drain into the ground and facilitate away, so that way it's not building up or having any mosquito havens. And this is how it goes all the way down. And over here, once again, we have the Y adapter. We have it sticking out this way. Usually I always have it against the house, but you can't because the fence is there. So we have it like this with a screw cap. You unscrew it, put your hose in there if you ever think anything's clogged, or when we go to test the system. And that's it. Now time to backfill and do the right side. And now we have the front right of the house dug out. As you can see, this is where the pop-up is going to go. We are to the side of the gas line. Thankfully, the gas line is deeper than my trench, so I did not have to run into that at all. As you can see, I have the front right of the house. We have the front right downspout and the back right downspout, both going to be tying into each other, going in the trench and out to a pop-up, just like the front left of the house. And now this is the front right completely done. As you can see, we have the pop-up. We did stop it a little short because my partner reminded me that the plows come around here, and while we have the other one near the mailbox over there, well, they're not going to take out a mailbox, but they might end up taking this out, so we just moved in just a little bit, so they ain't going to hit this sign anywhere. So as you can see, we have everything going downhill, completely downhill. So now the back right and the front right all tie in together, come right down the end of the house, facilitate out to the street. Next you'll see is the downspouts working. This is how you test your downspouts, make sure they work. This is on the front right and front back. This is putting into the farthest, which is the front back, and it will go all the way out on the other side of the trash can. And this is how it works right here. Pop-up emitter comes up, water comes out, filtrates out, goes onto the street, and goes down to the storm drain. That is how the front right and back right work, just like that. And then we do the same thing over here with the back left. You can see the hose is inside. It'll build up, goes all the way down, then all the way beside that trash can. And this is how the front left downspout works. Pops up, comes up, goes down, and will go down towards the sewer drain. Obviously right now, my rock is blocking it. But that's how things work. Just like that. That is how you run your downspouts out to the street. And now the French drain has been dug out. As you can see, we put all the dirt up there against the fence. Still got to rake it all out, make it nice. The French drain goes from here, comes all the way down to the dry well, which is pretty much in the water table. But we have it below this, below our drain itself. This is all going to be filled up with rock. Here's actually their old light pole that used to be here, but it's in the ground, it's in the suction, we couldn't get it out. And we have the French drain going all the way to his house as well. We put there, raked back all the rock, tried to berm all this up so that way we can build it up to try to force all the water, any rainwater that hits the house and everything else sheds straight into the French drain. They have it where they have their shower back here. Well, we went ahead and made a little mini trench. Might even put some pipe in here as well, just to connect it. Have it go straight into the French drain, so whenever they're taking a shower or anything that runs off there, can just have an easy access port to get to the French drain instead of having to go on top of the rock and sift through. Same thing we did back here. We're gonna reberm all this, stretch this out, have it all come, so any water, surface water that hits it will run right off into the French drain. Now to filter cloth and put the pipe in. Here we go, and now we have it all filter clothed all the way to the dry well. Even filter clothing the dry well itself, just to make sure that it stays as clean as possible and has a nice big void there of rock to help drain back into the earth. Next, put the pipe in. And now the French drain is completely piped. We have it going all the way downhill, as you can see, all the way down to the dry well at the end. And then over here, from the back of the house, I also have it going all the way downhill from the house. And then we put this extra piece in just so when he takes a shower and whatnot, that the water can just drain underneath, come right in and go into the French drain easier, because I've done built up this to make sure that he has a better grade, so any surface water that hits it rolls straight off into my French drain, straight down to the dry well itself. Also, at the beginning of each side of the French drain, I also have clean outs, so that way you can always make sure that it is working properly. Just unscrew it and you'll be able to see if the water's in there or not, in case you get heavy rainstorms and it all starts filling up and you're wondering if it's going. You'll see if the water's down here at the highest point. If it's not, then you know it's working great all the way at the end. Plus, I always have the holes down. Everyone always asks, why are the holes down? Well, you don't want this trench to have to fill up 4 inches before it goes into the holes, because there's a little tiny path down the center of them where actually the water can still flow nicely. If it has to build up 4 inches to go into the pipe, well then it's always going to be stuck in the pipe. This way, as soon as the water leaches in the ground, if it starts to build up at all, it moves exactly where I want it to go at the dry well at the end, and then it can have the ability to leach back out into the ground instead of having stagnant water sit into the pipe. And over here, as you can see, this is why I hooked up this little extra trench, so that way when they're running their shower, have the water going, the shower head, whatever they're doing over here at all, the water runs off, runs underneath, goes down the trench into the French drain, and and we'll go all the way down to the dry well. So that's why I'm going to keep this in here and fill this up with rock as well, so you will have a mini drain for your shower. And now we have the French drain completely filled in with our 3/4 bluestone all the way to the dry well, all the way down to the showers. Everything is rocked and ready to go. Now we're going to put filter cloth over it and push all the rock back and make it look like we were never here. And here's the finished product of the French drain. All you see over here is the top of the screw cap for the clean out. Everything looks really good, like we were never even here. Got everything set up nicely. Again, over here, all you see is the top of the clean out where the screw cap is. Dry well's in the corner. Everything is back the way it was. And here's the front. Rock's cleaned up, everything's cleaned up. Everything's nicely done. Another job well done by Stafford Park Drainage and Water Solutions. Like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one,